Hello everyone and welcome in. Today is Thursday, June 6th, and we'll be taking a look at what all energies are wanting to come through for you from God, Spirit, the Divine. So today is 6/6. So let's take a look and see what all messages we have coming through. All right, jump right in today. We have our Three of Swords in reverse, we have our Four of Swords in reverse, and then we have our Six of Swords in reverse. So there's a lot of, the swords are about thoughts. So it's a lot of thinking that's been going on lately. All of this is in the reverse, which some of it is, I would say, kind of good thinking. So for example, with our Three of Swords in reverse, it's about kind of moving on from things that have been causing you heartbreak. But the problem is, so you have this card, you have the moving on. The Four of Swords in reverse is about kind of the sense of just exhaustion, like you're exhausted from dealing with everything. And then with your Six of Swords in reverse, this is about like kind of feeling stuck and like you don't want to move on. And I would say, you know, because it came out Three of Swords, Four of Swords, Six of Swords, all in reverse, that like the exhaustion is the point in the middle where, you know, you've been resisting, you know, with this, you've been resisting moving on. You've been resisting this change, and it's causing you all this stress, all this exhaustion, all this frustration. And eventually it's going to lead to a sense of moving on and wanting to move past all of that. So even though it came out as 3, 4, 6 instead of 6, 4, 3, that's kind of the message, is that there's, you know, that, or that's what part of this exhaustion is it's this back and forth energy between I want to move on, I'm stuck, I don't want to change, but I want to move on, but I don't want to change. So some of that coming in. So let's jump in and see what all messages want to come through. Today we're going to start with our water signs and see what all messages are coming through. Let's start with the challenge. What is the challenge, please, for our water signs? The Hierophant. This is about traditional structures. So this is going to be about, for some people, marriage. Maybe there's some frustration if you are married. There could be some frustrations and conflicts there, or the idea that you want to be getting married and you're not at that place with your partner. It also, that could be a challenge. It's a challenge around that, whether it's that you want to be in it and you're not, or you're in it and you don't you don't want to be in it. Then we also have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is destined and fated. So this, even though the energy is minor arcana energy coming in, the challenge that you're facing is about that traditional structure. And it's destined and fated. So this is going to be a big life event for you, or a big kind of decision point. So let's take a look and see what all other messages are accompanying this. Envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So this, and especially as it goes along, you know, looking at those colors with the Wheel of Fortune there's something about it that part of your maybe destiny here is overcoming that sense of envy, whether it's that all of your friends are getting married and you want to get married, and so you wish that you had that, you know, if that's the challenge for you around the Hierophant, or being envious of other people's marriages that look different. Like maybe you are married and that's a structure that isn't working for you, that situation's not working, and you're envious of other people who do have that situation that's working. And then we have Sekhmet. Be strong. You are stronger than you think you are. Your strength assures a happy outcome. So remembering to connect with your strength, that this is, it is a challenge for you, but like I said, it's this destined and fated event. This is a really critical juncture for you in terms of making a decision that's in alignment with your true self and with your soul purpose. And then we have Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Let's pull a timing card and see, because it does, since it does have that back and forth energy, let's see if there's any indication as to when will our water signs make that leap in one direction or the other. When will that be coming through for our water signs, please? By the next full moon. So relatively soon. I don't remember exactly when the next full moon is, but given how regularly that's happening, you know, it looks like it's something that you will be working through it relatively soon in terms of what that next step looks like for you. But it's kind of that sense of, you know, you're just exhausted where you are. You have to make some decision, even if you don't want to make a decision, and kind of weaving this all in together of taking that leap and trusting that the universe has you. So that is the message for our water signs. Next up is our air signs, which is our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see what messages want to come through for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's first take a look at the challenge. What is coming up in the challenge space for our air signs? All right, we have our Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So in the challenge space, it's this sense of laziness. And, you know, it's like kind of letting quality slide in terms of work output, and just kind of that general sense of, really, you know. So that's what the challenge is it's kind of like I'm getting the visual or the message of, you know, I've been to this rodeo before, you know. So it's like there's that sense of, I don't know what to do. You know, I've gone through this before. So it's kind of like disenchanted a little bit. And then the card that's coming through is Justice in reverse. So things are imbalanced, and that's what's creating some of this sense of, you know, I'm burned out because of the imbalance. So I just want to move on. But then it's like, no, but I'm kind of stuck where I am. I don't, you know, so that's kind of that energy that's coming in, is because you feel stuck, it's kind of leading to that challenge where you're getting lazy because you feel like you're stuck, instead of saying, how can I look at this differently? What is my opportunity to change my scenario? Where's my opportunity to bring in justice, to bring in balance, to bring in harmony there? Grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. You know, and with this card, sometimes I don't like the way it comes across, because it almost comes across like you don't have the ability to appreciate it until it's gone. But I think, you know, if you're paying attention, it shouldn't take losing something in order to appreciate it. But there is a sense of, you know, so I'll kind of ignore the bottom part of that message, because like I said, I don't necessarily agree with that personally, that it takes losing something to appreciate what you had. I think you have the ability to appreciate it if you can truly see something for what it is. I think you have the ability to appreciate it before you lose it. But I think there is an element of grief associated with this. If I do move on, what am I losing? So let's take a look here. Coventina, purification. It is time for cleansing, detoxification of your body and mind. And some of this is going to help as you're looking at what is it that I need to move on from. And it may not be what you think it is. As you detox and as you cleanse and really work on releasing, you may discover that there's something kind of underneath, like hidden underneath, that you didn't realize you were holding on to. Old outdated beliefs, old, you know, old cycles, things like that. And then pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So this has a sense of, you know, as you work on releasing what's no longer serving you and you raise in your vibration, you're going to be showing the way to other people, and other people are going to be able to be inspired by you. And when you're able to take a look at this and say, wait a second, if this is so imbalanced, what do I need to do to move on, to create balance within my life? and you having that, as you're able to purify and show that strength, show that resilience, that's going to be a pillar of light to others, and it's going to be very inspirational to other people. So that was our message for our air signs. Now let's take a look at our fire signs, which is our Aries, Leo, Sag. Let's see what messages are coming through for you. And we'll start with, what is the challenge for you? The World in reverse. So the challenge here is that there's a lesson that needs to be learned in order to close out a cycle. And the World in reverse is kind of like not wanting to learn that lesson. It's not wanting to close up a cycle. So this sense of feeling frustrated and kind of burned out, and this waffling back and forth between, I'm over it, I just want to move on, and but I really feel stuck and I'm stuck in a rut. Your challenge is that you're not wanting to learn the lesson from a karmic perspective. You're not wanting to learn the lesson that is trying to come through here. And once you can learn that lesson, you will be able to move on. But if you find yourself stuck in a rut, try to look at it like, what is the lesson that's coming through here? What is it that why am I stuck in the mud? What does the universe want me to see? If you feel like your feet are glued to the floor right now and you just can't move, maybe the universe is saying you need to stand right here and look all around you. There's something you're not seeing, and that's that lesson. And then your boots will be unstuck. All right, and then we have Judgment in reverse. And I feel like Judgment in reverse is kind of like the World in reverse. Judgment is the last card before the World, which the World is the last card in the major arcana. And Judgment is the one that comes right before that. So if you think about this being the final exam, this way, when you pass it, then the World in the upright comes in. You passed the class, you finished it, you got your diploma, you got your A, and you moved on. In the reverse, you're not willing to learn the lesson, and Judgment in reverse is, again, like kind of clinging to the past and not wanting to learn the lesson. So this is that energy. It's keeping you stuck right now, fire signs, because there's something about a lesson that needs to be learned that you're not wanting to learn, or not wanting to see the truth of it, but it's leading you to this place of exhaustion. Eventually, you'll feel that push of, I just want to move on. I'm tired of being exhausted all the time. So the card that jumped was change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. And that is, kind of, I'll call it the first step in writing these cards, flipping them to the upright, is acknowledging that the only constant in life is that things are always changing. And friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. And this is anybody who's in your life, not just a friend, a romantic partner, bosses, coworkers, people are in your life for a reason. There's some lesson, there's some message there. And so they're in your life for a reason. And sometimes seeing what that reason is can help you learn your lessons. And even when it says friend, even if it's somebody that you don't like, or maybe they used to be a friend, but you don't really get along anymore, looking at that situation, what is it about that situation that you can still learn from? If it's a friend that's like always getting into trouble, they're always calling you when they need money, or, oh, I got arrested, can you come bail me out of jail? Like that sort of thing. Or, oh, I lost my job, is there any chance you can hire me? Like if it's somebody like that in your life, and maybe you don't consider them a good friend, but they're an acquaintance that's just always there, part of that lesson, if you're looking at it, what is the lesson you're supposed to be learning? Maybe it's about setting boundaries. Maybe it's about saying, you know what, where I am on my journey, I'm not at the same vibration. I'm not at the same resonance as you are. And maybe not saying it like that to the person, but acknowledging that if there's a difference in your vibration, every time you come down to keep bailing this person out and saving them is pulling your vibration down. So it could be a matter of, like I said, boundaries, setting energetic boundaries, things like that. And your goddess card is Lakshmi, bright future. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. If you're stuck in cycles, in looping, repeating cycles, since it says, since this card is about being stuck in a rut and resisting positive change, are you resisting the positive change because you're worried that things aren't going to work out? Are you worried that, oh, but if I do this, then XYZ happens? And usually, if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, if that part of it resonates, it's probably that you're overthinking it. Your disaster planning 8 steps down the road of what could go wrong, but put your mind to work thinking about what could happen if it goes right. What new opportunities and life lessons can come in if it goes right. Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. And this is about how do you, actually those two go beautifully together, that bright future. How do you create that heaven on earth? How do you create that, that peaceful reality for yourself? Because with this, where you're feeling just like burned out and exhausted, that's not this Lemuria. That's not this heaven on earth card. How do you create that for yourself? And sometimes that is about setting those boundaries and saying, no, I'm not going to let my past keep pulling me down in the present or into the future. So that was the message for our fire signs. Now let's take a look at our earth signs, which is our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What messages want to come through for you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? All right. From a challenge perspective, first we're going to take a look. What is the challenge for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Your challenge is the King of Wands in reverse. So your challenge is this impulsive, almost like bullying energy. And I think this came out in yesterday's reading as well. I think maybe you are the Queen of Wands in reverse, which is kind of that overbearing, selfish energy. So this is a little bit of like impulsive bullying energy. I guess fire signs had this in their challenge space yesterday. But like, since you're feeling stuck in and like resisting this positive change and you're stuck in a rut and it's leaving you burned out, make sure that you're not letting yourself get sucked into this like bullying, impulsive, low vibe energy. Don't let yourself feel like you're being painted into a corner where now you have to lash out and like claw your way out of that corner. Death. So we have the death card coming up in your energy for our earth signs. So something has to change. There needs to be some sort of transformation. The death card has to do with, having some sort of a revelation and then like death and rebirth and reinventing yourself. So whatever this situation is that keeps causing that, there needs to be some sort of transformation that will allow you to move into this energy of moving on, to move into that energy of, okay, I can breathe. I'm not so stressed and burned out and exhausted. All right, then we have acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. And this could be an issue of if you've been going round and round with something, with some situation, and it's just leaving you feeling exhausted, but you feel stuck. Like you're exhausted, but you're stuck, but you're exhausted, but you're stuck. And getting to that point of accepting that, not everything can be changed. You only have the ability to determine your own actions, your own next steps. You can't control anybody else. You might be able to inspire somebody else, but you can't control them. And even, in terms of manipulating or forcing another human to do something else, if they're an adult, at some point that doesn't work. If they're your child, yeah, sometimes you can make them do stuff, but you can't really make them do something because there's consequences there. There's resentment, there's, anger, things like that. So accepting the fact that you can't change somebody else can help, and that might be some of that death part, is if you've kind of been thinking all along, well, I can control the situation. I can make this person do what I want. I can make them, be who I want them to be. I can make this job do what I want it to do. I can make this job be exactly as I want it to be. Sometimes you can't control that, and you just have to accept the fact that it is what it is. And, you know, from the death perspective, being able to acknowledge that and release that need to control it can be very liberating. Mawu, Mother Earth, you are called upon to help with environmentalism. I'll pull another one. Of all of the cards in the Goddess deck, that's the one that feels the most out of place, maybe. I mean, excellent to take care of the planet, and I think it's probably trying to get at that everything's all interconnected. So taking care of what's around you will help create a better reality for you. This one, Yamanya, golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. And with the opportunities and walking through doors, part of it, as you look at this situation, whatever it is that you're feeling stuck, if there's movement in a different direction and some door opens, maybe it's a door you've been afraid is going to crack open, let it, see where that takes you. The whole thing of the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Try something different. If you see an opening or an opportunity, go for it. Because remember, when you pray for things, when you ask the universe for things, it's not like the universe snaps its fingers and all of a sudden your reality's changed. It gives you an opportunity to do something different. It gives you an opportunity. If you pray for strength, the universe will give you opportunities to be courageous. That sort of thinking. So this golden opportunity, whatever door starts to open around you, take note of that, and that might be the door that you're meant to walk through. Answer the call. Where's your soul calling you to go? And this, especially as you sit in situations that don't, that are where you feel stuck, where you feel like you can't move on, like you're resisting this positive change because you just feel stuck where you are. What is your soul calling you to do? Is your soul really calling you to sit where you're not happy, or is your soul calling you in a different direction? And just having the courage to say, yes, I feel like I'm being called in a different direction. So, that is the message that's coming through for our earth signs. I hope you found today's message to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.